how to make compost. So the organic agriculture, the history shows it started in India long ago. From there, it went to all over the world. This is the research program of the United States Department of Agriculture, USDA. They established in 1988. At present, this is the largest C factor. When we say C factor, means cover and management factor data. So the data utilized for several erosion prediction models, and soil erosion going on all over the world. It is a big problem. People are not checking properly, and the topsoil goes to the streams, to the rivers, finally to the ocean. The ocean level is rising at the rate of 1 centimeter per year. After 100 years, the ocean will rise to another 100 centimeters. That is more than 3 feet. Cities located all over the beaches, all over the world, will suffer. We were producing a lot, exporting, traveling, making money, making mansions. We thought we were smart, but not. That's the thing. Now, this program which we have, a technology, is called the Universal Soil Loss Equation. Now it is revised later. It is called a revised Universal Soil Loss Equation. There are so many factors in this one. Among all the factors, the most important is the C, that is the C factor, cover and management factor. You see, A is the annual soil loss, and R is the rainfall data. Then comes the soil erodibility factor. Then L is the slope length factor, and the slope steepness factor. Then comes the C factor, cover and management factor. And cover and management factor is the most important factor as far as the erosion prediction is concerned. In the paper I published in 2001, and we developed the technology in 2001, and we were the first to develop the technology. And I sent the link, and that technology is published by all universities in the US. It is also available with the National Library of Congress in Washington, DC. And the information used around the globe for master's and PhD programs, and also to train conservationists how to prevent soil erosion. So this is the definition. C factor is the ratio of soil loss from land cropped under specific conditions, and corresponding soil loss from tilled, continuous fallow conditions. This is the program developed long ago. It is used for erosion prediction, nutrient management, conservation planning, and also to prevent soil erosion and climate change. And here I am presenting only some of the factors, parameters. We are almost more than 15 parameters we cover on each crop. But some of the most important one now, leaf area index. That is the total area of leaf per unit area of the land. What is the total area of the leaf? And look, if we measure the total area of the leaf using the Equipare electronic machine, and we can predict how many tons of dried leaves the farm is going to have before we harvest. Before the leaves fall on the ground, we can predict how many tons of leaves the plants are going to shed. And that plant contains how much micronutrients, how much macronutrients. So all this can be determined. And look at the 3 important crops here, the broccoli, cabbage, and cauliflower. The same technology can be applied in all the crops. And here we take the upper biomass and the lower biomass. In most of the conservation research programs, people take only the upper biomass. So that is where the biggest mistake. We were trained by the topmost scientists in the US. So we have to take the upper biomass and also the lower biomass. If we are not taking the lower biomass, we cannot do soil health studies. That is the most important thing. This is a great program for students doing master's and PhD programs. They can work on different crops. They can find out, for example, sweet corn or corn. And these are crops, their CN ratio. That is, CN ratio means carbon to nitrogen ratio. Looking at the crop, looking at the CN ratio of a crop, we can tell whether that crop is going to be a soil conserving crop or a soil depleting crop. If the CN ratio is very low, the residue decomposes very fast and exposing the soil for erosion. In case of sweet corn, corn, and several crops, the CN ratio is very high. It is more than 40:1. And when we apply the residue, you can see the sweet corn shoot, the surface obligation and the subsurface obligation. When we apply the residue inside of the soil or outside of the soil, the inside of the soil, there's the subsurface, that decomposes faster than the surface one. And using that data, we can find out at what time the nitrogen is released. When the leaf falls on the ground, the nitrogen is in unavailable form. It became available because of the action of microbes. When we do this residue decomposition studies, this is a great program for students. They want to do their master's and PhD programs. This is one of the areas there are not many graduates in the world. There are not many graduates. It comes the soil microbiology and some soil physics. At the same time, the agriculturists can tell the farmer, because farmers, they cannot expect any nitrogen from the leaves immediately. We know the leaves, when you apply leaves or sawdust or wood shavings or wood chips, any plant material, the nitrogen is not going to release immediately, only because the action of microbes, they release slowly. So what time it is released? If you apply surface application or subsurface application. So the farmers, they don't know, because they don't know, and we take the soil samples and analyze. We don't analyze the residue. So because of this is one of the reasons why the groundwater pollution going on all over the world. When we do this study, we can say that after 1 month or 2 months, the residue is going to return the nitrogen. The residue coming from the preceding crop to the succeeding crop, maybe after 1 month or after 2 months. The farmers, they don't know. So using this technology, we can tell the farmer, hey, stop. Don't put any more nitrogen fertilizer now. You will be polluting the groundwater. You are getting the nitrogen from the previous crop. It's coming now. So this will come out from this research. Then these are the no-till plots. So we recommend farmers to apply no-till plots instead of tilling the land, as if it is possible. And this is one of the crops I want to introduce in India, is hairy vetch. I don't know whether it is cultivated. It is a legume. It can be cultivated in cool regions, in high ranges, hill stations, and it returns almost 180 pounds of nitrogen per acre. A lot of nitrogen comes back. And it is also a good forage crop for the animals to eat. It can be mixed with the straw, rice straw, and can be given to the animals. So this is hairy vetch. It's very expensive. The seed of the hairy vetch is more expensive than rice in the US. And 1 pound of rice is $1, but 1 pound of hairy vetch is more than $1. So this is another area. If Andhra Pradesh can do it, or any Indian states can do this production of this hairy vetch, he can export the seeds, because seed is very expensive in the US. Now, this is another research program. So this is one I want to concentrate, because India is #1 in cattle population. And some people are drying the cow manure and burning and cooking. That means when we burn the cow manure, we are cooking or we are burning. We are burning somebody's food. Who is that somebody? It is the Mother Earth. It is the food of the Mother Earth we are burning, the cow manure. So this cow manure, if it is not utilized properly, it pollutes the groundwater, because it contains nitrogen and phosphorus. These are two polluting elements. So I have been applying animal waste on my research station for years. So US Army is in charge of waters in the whole US. The whole US water is polluted. So they were looking for all universities in this nation, and they found only me applying animal waste continuously for more than 20 years. So they handed over their patent to me. So I have the US Army's patents. So this is the technology we applying this technology, we produce the fertilizer. That fertilizer will never, ever pollute the groundwater. So if we can apply this technology in India, the farmers can sell their animal waste. The scientists or the universities can buy it and make the fertilizer that will never, ever pollute the groundwater. Because there are two polluting elements. One is nitrogen and phosphorus. So nitrogen and phosphorus can be converted into kidney stones. So by the application of calcium and magnesium liming materials. So calcium, magnesium, the nitrogen, phosphorus, they react together, making ammonium, magnesium phosphate, that is kidney stones. So producing kidney stones from the animal waste. The kidney stone doesn't dissolve in water. So that means when we apply this animal waste on the field, it is not going to pollute the groundwater. It will release very, very slowly. Now, there are so many challenges, and one of the major challenges the world faces now, more and more people are becoming non-vegetarians. When more and more people are becoming non-vegetarians. And now, if you look at the paragraph, look, as much as 38% of the Earth's terrestrial surface is already used for agriculture, of which 3/4 is used for raising livestock. So animals are taking over the world. we have no place for human beings. It is already said that animals are releasing methane gas, greenhouse gas, that is going on one side. These are the UN report. It clearly shows the Intergovernmental Panel for Climate Change report recommendation for agriculture, organic management, and climate change. It says crop rotation and farming systems design, nutrient and manure management, livestock management. These are the most important things we have to apply now. Otherwise, the climate change will continue to be a problem because animals are releasing methane gas and the polluting elements are coming up. Soil erosion is going on and the groundwater is polluted. Now, groundwater and surface water supplies are threatened with contamination everywhere, all over the world. The nitrates, this is going on. So we can trap them and convert them into kidney stones. That way, the animal waste will not pollute the groundwater. The nutrient pollution is a big problem. And people are facing a lot, and there is some diseases coming up. Even people who stay near the ponds because of algae, even killing people, aquatic life. And here, look at the problem here. Insecticides, fertilizers, and groundwater pollution. Now, as I mentioned earlier, all of us have more than 500 POPs in our bodies, the persistent organic pollutants. It is already in our body. We cannot take it out. When we spray pesticides, weedicides, nematicides, fungicides, all kinds of chemicals, they join together, make another kind of chemical, that is the POP. And look at the nitrates. They kill infants. Suffocation and death in infants. The disease called methemoglobinemia. Methemoglobinemia that kills infants from nitrates. Now, these are some of the publications references. So I'm not going to, it will be there in your site. So people can read later more. So these are the nitrogen pollution coming from waste, animal waste and plant waste. And I will just go through some other important ones. Now, solution. The only solution to the whole problem going on now is increase organic crop production, conserve soil and water, and manage plant nutrients scientifically. Because soil is the greatest gift of God. There is nothing more greater than soil. Soil is the greatest gift. Without soil, there is no plants. If there are no plants, no insects, no birds, no animals, no human beings. Everything depends on plant. So that soil is in danger now. Once the soil goes to the ocean, we cannot bring it back. Now, poultry litter is a major source. In the US, chicken producing, exporting to every part of the world, and chicken manure is polluting the whole nation. And in India, it is a cow manure. So we can apply the same technology in cow manure, and the farmer can make money. Farmer can sell the cow manure, and company can produce it and make the fertilizer. The new fertilizer can be released that will never, ever pollute the groundwater. And you know, the last paragraph, look, once the manure is applied instead of the soil, this was published in 2016. Instead of the soil, if the manure is applied, it is there for almost 6-7 years. But it should be inside, not don't spray on the ground. Then what is composting? So the composting, India started long ago. It gone all over the world. So composting is the best method of utilizing the plant waste and the animal waste. And application of calcium, magnesium with animal waste and plant waste, that creates the production of ammonium, magnesium phosphate, the kidney stones. So we can train the farmers using the technique. So farmers can make their own compost, but they may have to get some support from the government, maybe, because they are applying another item. They have to buy the dolomitic lime. The dolomitic lime contains both the calcium and magnesium. If they apply only lime, it contains only calcium. So it needs both calcium and magnesium. Now, this is advanced composition technology. The US Army gave their patent to me. So now I'm training farmers. So I have presented this several places. So I recently had a presentation for India too. So applying this patent, this is a cultured bacteria. The cultured bacteria, once applied to the lab, finally, that kills E. coli. E. coli can never come back. Usually, the cow manure or any animal waste, when you apply, even if you sterilize and apply, still the bacteria comes back. But in case of the US Army's patent, a cultured bacteria, the E. coli can never come back. Now, organic farming, the US, this is not a new data, this is old data. Now it is more than 50 billion. The US makes more than $50 billion from the organic sale. And the rules are very strict. And this is the objective of the research. It covers a lot of stuff. You can see I have mentioned about the ammonium magnesium phosphate. That is the steroid. It's called a steroid. The France is importing from French islands. Britain is importing from British islands. US is importing from US islands, Peru islands. So there the seagulls excrete. The seagull excreta are surrounding those hills and mountains, ocean. From the ocean, they get the calcium, magnesium. So they react. After centuries, the nature makes this fertilizer. It's called guano, G-U-N-O, guano. So guano is the most expensive fertilizer in the world. So this is nothing but application of steroid naturally made in Peru Islands. The same guano, the guano is 1 pound of guano. 2.2 pounds make 1 kilogram. Just imagine. 1 pound of guano in the US is $4. Just 1 pound. Fertilizer, animal waste. So, but it is naturally made in Peru Islands. We made the same fertilizer here. We made the same fertilizer applying the US Army technology within 40 days. So nitrogen budget for guano. This is the guano production. So guano is imported by France, Britain, and US from their islands, from Peru Islands, and selling, making money, very expensive. Only very, very rich farmers can buy it. Nobody can buy $4 for a pound of animal waste. So $4, I can buy 4 pounds of chicken. But the rich people are buying and applying. But if we can apply this same technology in our animal waste in India, we can produce steroid in the animal waste. We can convert. The groundwater pollution can be avoided. If it is not done, because India is #1 in cattle population, when our great-grandchildren will come in India after 100 years, they will have severe problem. They will find it difficult to get drinking water from any place. These are some of the ratios of animal nitrogen in the system. So anyway, it is going to be in the website. So I don't have to explain more about the calculation here. So I'll go to the next important ones. Now, the minimum guaranteed chemical analysis of dolomitic lime. So dolomitic lime contains both calcium and magnesium. So this is the element we need for converting the polluting elements into kidney stone. Then mixing poultry manure, dolomitic lime. So we have been doing for so many years. Actually, I did this work for 7 years to produce the kidney stone. I failed. I spent a lot of money, almost $700,000. Finally, we succeeded. So I am presently here. You can see these are the 4 concentrations. And the students, those who are listening this, you can record this and you can apply in your thesis or master's program. You can produce the kidney stones in animal waste or sheep manure or goat manure or any manure in India. You can produce, and that material can prevent groundwater pollution. So these are the 4 constants. The third one is the best one. Third one was it produced more steroid. The word steroid, that the kidney stone, than all other materials. And the conditions required. You need a moisture, a particular percentage of moisture. It should be in a humid area. It should not be in an open area. I'm going to show that, then you will understand. If you keep the composting top in an open area, in a hot sun, it's not going to work. It will kill the bacteria inside. So it needs a particular temperature, high humidity, near the woods or forest area, then only it will succeed. And so I will show the picture, then you will understand how it works. This is the moisture percentage, and every 2 days it should be rotated. The drum should be rotated, it should be mixed. Now, once it is analyzed, and you can see the pH, it goes. So this is a real manure. It has this much pH, 7.2, the poultry manure. But in this technology, there is one defect here. It's not, I cannot say it is a defect. You can see the pH goes very high. The pH goes above 7, sometimes above 8. It goes up to 9. But we can bring it down by applying other materials. Now, this is a composting. These are some of the tables will be there, all the ingredients. I don't want to read all these. Then comes, this is a small compost when we use for farmers. A farmer can afford this, and he can continue making for every 30 days, he can make it. So we are recommending farmers to make the compost, continue composting for more than 30 days because many animals are given shot. The dairy cow is given shot to produce more milk. The broiler chicken is given shot. So the chicken is supposed to become an adult within 4 months, but the American chicken become adult within 2 months. They are given the shot. It grows like anything. So from such animals or birds, if the dairy farms or the poultry farms are giving shot to the animals to produce more meat or more milk, that animal's excreta contains antibiotics. If that animal waste contains antibiotics, when human beings are going to consume food produced from that area, antibiotics will not work in our body. It will never work in our body. So elderly people will suffer, especially when they get pneumonia or something. Antibiotics, when we consume, is not going to work because if we use the manual. So it is recommended to compost the animal waste for more than 30 days, up to 40 days, so that they will degrade. So that is the only way we can degrade them. Otherwise, if you do the composting within 3 weeks or 4 weeks, it is going to mess up. Now, this is the electron microscope records. This is the US Army's electron microscope. Using the microscope only, we can find out whether the struvite is formed. And this form, the crystal form like this. Look at the photo micrograph of struvite crystals formed in decaying chicken manure. This is the US Army's electron microscope recorded. So Dr. Charles is here. He's working with me. So that shows the pellets formed. So the struvite has a particular shape. This is the shape of the pellet. So this is formed. That means the struvite is formed. That means you have trapped the nitrogen and phosphorus. You produce the best fertilizer in the world that will never, ever pollute the Indian soil. Now, the graph shows the struvite is formed. So this will come out in the graph form. And the conclusion, you can see composting with animal waste helps us remove decomposable, organic, and nitrogenous waste from the disposable landfills. Struvite-based composting can provide cost benefits and allows the farmer for the substitute of nitrogen P-rich compost, a source of major macronutrients. This struvite-based composting system reduces ammonia, air pollution problem, and will also prevent groundwater pollution. So that is a great part of it. It's the groundwater pollution going on all over. People are buying water. Everybody is carrying drinking water. Yeah, where is the plastic bottle? The plastic bottle containing chlorine, another pollution. So to avoid all the problems, because animal waste is the major one polluting the whole system. The struvite enriched compost is a new type of organic fertilizer that will be a storable, marketable, enhanced nitrogen phosphorus products that any animal farm can economically produce and sell. The impact of this work on the poultry industries or any animal industry will be significant. Now, this is the soil we have here, but it's a heavy soil. And I just want to show the soil because it's a heavy soil. Heavy soils are not recommended for fruit crops. The fruit crop, because heavy soils, the clay and silt alone, look at the clay and silt alone is almost 93%. If the clay and silt alone, they are high water holding capacity. When the heavy rain comes, water lodges. In such areas, we cannot cultivate fruit crops. So there we can cultivate if we apply the method our great-grandparents applied. Our great-grandparents applied method is animal waste and plant waste. Whatever may be the soil, the animal waste and plant waste together, they help. And regulation of raw animal, this is the regulation in the US. And if the edible portion is touching the ground, the animal waste should be applied 120 days before the harvest. The edible portion is not touching the ground. The second paragraph, you can see the animal waste should be applied 90 days before the harvest. This is the most important rule in organic agriculture in the US. So when the first one, 120 days ready for the vegetable crop. Vegetables are touching the ground. So it should be applied 120 days before the harvest. For peach, plum, nectarine, even in India, guava, or lime, or lemon, anything, it should be applied 90 days before the harvest. And now manure is applied. It is coming up slowly. Still, it is not utilized very well. And it is applied in corn, especially mainly it is applied in corn, a slurry form. Yeah, the organic matter lasts for so many years. And this is one publication published 2016 shows that if the animal waste is applied inside of the soil, not outside of the soil, so it can avoid soil compaction, it hold moisture, it improves the water holding capacity, it improves the soil structure. There are so many benefits. The animal waste and the plant waste, they have so many benefits. They are the two major food items of the Mother Earth. This is the one thing which I was talking about, the composting for more than 30 days. And the microbiomes during manure composting. Dissipation. If the compost is not with the animal waste, any animal waste, if it is not done more than 30 days, that compost will have antibiotics and the microbiomes. So when we cultivate some of the crops, like some crops like brassica species, like cabbage, broccoli, turnip, nordkol, Brussels sprouts, kale, collard greens, mustard greens, they are under the same family. They are highly nutritious, but they have a tendency to pick the heavy metals from the soil. And here the US poultry manure is a big commodity because they consume a lot of chicken and exporting chicken to every part of the world. And these are national organic program, the weed control, and the plastic is recommended. Now, the synthetic mulches. The plastic synthetic mulches are applied in organic according to the regulation number. You can see it was passed in 2015. And I am going to show you how you should be applied. If you're applying plastic in organic, immediately after the harvest, you must take it out. The synthetic mulch should not be on the ground. Immediately after harvest, we have to take it out. That is the rule. This is the fruit quality. We introduced so many melons from around the globe. In one proposal alone, I introduced 103 varieties. And I recently introduced 192 varieties of watermelons from around the globe. Now there's a high demand for melons. And I'm going to show you certain important things. When you apply like watermelon, cantaloupe, muskmelon, any melons, when you apply, if you apply animal waste, you can see the vitamin C goes high. If you apply NPK chemical fertilizers, the vitamin C doesn't go high. So these are the secrets of our great parents. They were applying animal waste and plant waste, getting more vitamin C than what we are getting now. So how our great grandparents were healthier than us? Because they applied animal waste and plant waste. The research we have been doing at different crops with animal waste clearly shows that the vitamin C goes high, anthocyanins, flavonoids. So many items, they go higher and higher in plant system. When the statistician analyzes, it may not be significant. So statistician will tell it is not significant. It's not a question about it is significant or not. It's a question you are getting more, little. So gradually you are getting more vitamins, more anthocyanins, more flavonoids. So you'll be more healthy. These are blueberries. This is one of the crops I wanted to introduce in India. I want to introduce blueberries. Muscadine grapes, I'm going to show you some of the crops we have to introduce because blueberries number 1 in antioxidants. And number 2 in antioxidants, next to blackberries. Blackberries number 1, and blueberries, cranberries, and bilberries, they are sisters. They can prevent COVID because they have a glue inside of the system. The cranberry is 3 times more powerful than blueberry. If somebody has COVID, somebody going to prevent COVID or any pneumonia for elderly people, consume cranberries. Cranberry has a glue that goes to the bloodstream. When people, for example, I am coughing now, but I don't have COVID. So when we cough, tiny globules of blood comes in the lungs. When the globules of blood comes in the lungs, who comes? The bacteria comes. When bacteria comes, that is pneumonia. People die. Most of the COVID people died all over the world, not because of COVID, because of the pneumonia. So that pneumonia can be prevented by consuming blueberries and cranberries, especially cranberry. And they need cool climates, and they are highly nutritious. And blueberry prevents lung cancer. It prevents stroke. It prevents heart diseases. It prevents urinary infection in ladies. If you look at the people go for shopping, and in many shopping malls, in streets, not only in India, many places, there is no restroom for ladies. So there is chance of getting urinary infection. So if they consume blueberries and cranberries, they cannot have urinary infection. That is the great part of these crops. But the cranberry needs more chilling temperatures, but the blueberry can be cultivated in mild, cool areas. It grows well. There are three kinds of blueberries. This blueberry is a rabbit eye blueberry, and there is another high bush, another low bush. The high bush can stand even heat. This is the rabbit eye blueberry. It looks like the eye of the rabbit. This is the tastiest one, excellent one. Each fruit is so small, look, but each fruit has got 62 seeds inside. This fruit is very expensive in the US. 1 pound of banana is only 50 cents. One pound of blueberry is $10. 1 pound, not 1 kilogram. So that means 22 kilograms for 1 kilogram of blueberries. $22 for 1 kilogram of blueberries. Very expensive, but still, when we go to the Walmart market, the blueberry is not there. It's gone. It's like hotcakes. So these are some of the fruits we had introduced in India. So that can help the community to prevent so many problems. We have cool climate, you have high ranges, so many like Dehradun, Ooty, Kodaikanal, Nure, Pune, so many places. So in all those areas, we can cultivate these crops. This is the blueberry. From one plant, we can harvest 15 pounds. In 1 acre, we can have almost 720 plants per acre. It's not easy to harvest. You have to shake or you have to use a machine. And most of the farms, blueberry farms in the US, it is pick your own. Nobody's there. They keep a bucket. People come and pick. They take the weight, put the money there, and they go. So they call it pick your own. So picking is very difficult, but it's highly nutritious. And here, look at our blueberry. Now, my blueberry, I did my PhD also in blueberries. Now, my blueberry is #1 in the world. It is on the internet. I applied animal waste and plant waste. Look, the vermicompost. The vermicompost raised the vitamin C. Look at the vitamin. It is 83% higher in vitamin C than any other blueberry in the United States. It is vermicompost. Look at the cow manure. It is 65% higher than the NPK. The control is NPK. The NPK never rises the vitamins or minerals and antioxidants. They just produce a lot. That's all. So that is the secret of our great grandparents. So I think this is one of the areas we have to teach the future generation to get into the organic agriculture area, applying animal waste and plant waste, to increase vitamins, minerals, anthocyanins, flavonoids, and consume the best food, adding value to the crop. There is a value adding method, value adding. Somebody cook a jam jelly. When you cook, you are losing everything. But if you increase the vitamins and minerals, the fresh fruit, that is the real value adding. That is the real value adding. Now look at this. This is the melon. If you look at melon, we apply the cow manure, poultry manure. The melon, the cow manure, you see, it increases the vitamin C so high. So when you cultivate any watermelon, cantaloupe, muskmelon, any melons, if you apply animal waste on both sides, I will show you how to apply it. It won't pollute the groundwater. You can apply in such a way that the manure will be inside the soil. Now, USDA teaches me because this is in high demand. I trained a lot of farmers how to do it. It's very simple. I'm going to show you how to do it. So this is the impact statement USDA published. This is from the USDA website. The federal government published. Our blueberry is #1 in the nation. So this is the method. Make holes almost 9 inches deep inside the soil with a post hole digger. And there's a flag there in the middle. That place is going to be, that place we are going to put the plant. So put the animal waste inside like this. Put the animal waste inside. Then the flag will be there and cover it. Then put the plants inside on both sides. They start growing. This is the best method. And the manure is still inside. Next year, you can reduce the quantity. Again, you can reduce the quantity. So manure is there. Gradually, you can see the soil color will turn to a very nice, beautiful color, the black color of the soil. So we analyze the fruits, quality, different parameters. We notice that the organic manures, they help most of the crops. Most of the crops, they accept the organic manures. And we train the students. Our students are in high demand because they are producing organic food items. And also they are increasing the anthocyanins, flavonoids, and their salaries are higher than the salary of PhD holders. Their salary, the student salary, MS student salary starting is $65,000. It's higher than the salary of an assistant professor. Because they are going to work on the field. There is a severe shortage of people. People are not ready to go to the field now. And these are melons. The same melons. These are the muskmelon. So we analyzed 103 varieties and we selected, these are the two best varieties. One is the Pride of Wisconsin. The big one is called Pride of Wisconsin. That is the best melon in the US. And we distributed seeds to thousands of farmers. So train them, they're cultivating, is going on. So this is a research we did with another university, West Virginia State University. And we got melons from different countries, from 103 countries, varieties. So this is the Pride of Wisconsin. It looked like cantaloupe, like muskmelon. This is a muskmelon. It's actually a muskmelon. You see, it weighs almost 3.5 kilogram. 3.5 kilogram, one fruit. And highly nutritious. Inside is like this. Very tasty. This is the French variety. So we selected two varieties. One, this is a small one, more sweeter than the other one. It has more total soluble solids, more sugar content than the other one. But this one, the keeping quality is very low. This one I already showed, the muscarine, the melon. The economically grown, the melon is a short duration crop. Within 70 days, we can harvest. And you can have even 2 crops in 1 year. In India, we can have even maybe 4 because we don't have any snow or ice or anything there. So we cultivate 2 crops in 1 year. And this is another crop I want to introduce in India. This is muscadine grapes, not the regular grape. And this is the only crop identified so far, the antioxidant that prevents breast cancer. In the US, almost 45,000 ladies get killed because of breast cancer every year. And this fruit can prevent breast cancer. And the seed of this fruit has more antioxidant than seed of any fruit, any other fruits. And the skin of this fruit has more fiber. It is available for breakfast. It is used as a cereal, as a breakfast. The skin is used. The seed is very expensive. A small vial, just 1 finger long, that much seed is $10. Then the fruit is used for making jam, jelly, juice, wine, vinegar, so many things. And the muscadine wine is very, very tasty. Once you taste muscadine wine, you will not drink any other wine because it's very tasty. It looks like this. It's not like bunch grapes. It looks like this. It's very tasty. Do you know why it is very tasty? The bunch grapes has only 14% sugar content. And this one has got 22% sugar content. If you make jam jelly from this, it will be very, very tasty. You don't have to add any sugar. It's very, very tasty. At the same time, it is highly medicinal. This is one fruit, one crop I want to introduce in India. This one also needs low, cool temperature, not in the hot area. If you have cool areas where the cool climate is there, it grows very well. Once it is planted, then you forget about it. It continues growing for years. Our vineyard is more than 30 years old, still producing. I'm going to show you. So these are muscadine vineyard. Make a basin around. That is even peach, plum, nectar, and everything, even lime, lemon, and guava in India. All the fruit crops, please make sure you make a basin around first. And inside the basin, you apply the animal waste. And over the animal waste, you apply dolomitic lime. The dolomitic lime contains calcium and magnesium. If you apply dolomitic lime on fruit crops, the fruit crops, they will reduce the fungus infection. The fungus infection can be reduced to a great extent. If we don't apply these calcium, magnesium oriented materials, the fungus infection will continue to be in fruits. And application of lime, dolomitic lime, or even lime, we recommend dolomitic lime for fruit crops. For vegetables, we can apply lime. Application of lime because it contains carbonates. The carbonates kills bacteria. Because we are applying over the manure, over the animal waste. The animal waste contains E. coli. When we apply like this, it kills E. coli. And then you mulch it. You cover it with the plant waste. So there comes the animal waste and the plant waste. And instead we put calcium, magnesium. So they are decomposing. So they are trapping the ammonia. That is also going on. So the muscadine vineyard will look like this. It is a very nice crop, very beautiful crop. And you see it produces a lot. So this system, the right side system, it is called Geneva double cutter system. We have the system there in India for bunch grapes. But this is for the muscarine grape. This is a very, very good system. It produces a lot. And 1 pound of muscarine, because it prevents breast cancer, 1 pound is $4. The bunch grape, 1 pound is just less than $2. This is more double than that. It's very expensive. It's not available. It is only seasonal and it disappears. And this is one of the crops we can introduce in India. And farmers can make a lot of money. We can wipe out the breast cancer problem. We can do many things. And be this one, jam, jelly, and canning industry. The canning industry will flourish. And this is we have 10 years data. This is the last year's data. You can see the yield goes very high. Yield goes up to this is something very interesting. We have been doing we started in 2000, 2001, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And the last one, the table I'm showing is the shadow there, but you can see the first two figures. Poultry plus pine needle, 12,000 pounds per acre. The cow plus pine, 11,000 pounds per acre. The cow plus poultry manure, when we mixed the cow manure and the poultry manure, something happens. So I contacted so many plant physiologists. They said they cannot do it. Because when we mix the cow manure and the poultry manure, look at the yield. Yield gone to 15,000 pounds per acre. Not per hectare, per acre. And 1 pound is $4. That means when the farmer can make $60,000 from 1 acre of land. So what happens? Why when we mix two different kinds of animal waste, the vitamin C, the yield, everything goes very high. How it happens? So I contacted the most famous plant physiologists in the US. They said it is a very complicated study. It's not easy to do it. Easy to find out what is going on in the plant system. But these are the systems our great grandparents have been using, applying different manures, eating best food. So they were more healthier than us. Now, this is the study I have been doing. I have been applying animal waste on my vineyard for more than 20 years. Recently, the Cornell University is a very famous university in the US. They sent a letter to all the universities in the nation to see any scientist applying animal waste for more than 7.5 years. So that time when I got the letter, my vineyard was 17 years. So we informed. So they analyzed all the samples based on their technology, soil health studies, and Cornell found out that only the phosphorus, you see in the red line, it was going up. But all other areas, it was excellent. So this work of 17 years, this is 17 years data I'm presenting. So this is the first research in the US. And according to Cornell University, the overall quality score is 72. That is excellent. This is the first research in the nation. So now many people are applying this. So this is one technique we have to apply in India. So we can do the soil health studies. We can keep the soil healthy, human healthy. No turmeric. I introduced turmeric in 2012 because Mississippi was number one in obesity. Mississippi, the heaviest people on the earth, they are in Mississippi, continuously for 8 years. So I introduced turmeric in Mississippi in 2012, and turmeric has 17 medicinal properties, and one property is turmeric cuts cholesterol. So it will cut cholesterol if it is consumed in empty stomach 3 times a day. So turmeric people started consuming. Now Mississippi not number one in obesity. Mississippi now number 4 in obesity. Everybody is consuming now. Now I don't think anybody is not consuming. It is everywhere there. I gave turmeric plants to more than 3,000 farmers. So this is the turmeric plant. My assistant is training people. So we train people. We are giving the rhizomes. Even small plants in pots. So this is a no-till method. We train the farmers how to do it without tilling the land, how they can raise the corn. So because most people wanted to till the land. And this is one crop I want to introduce in India. And this will be best crop for Andhra Pradesh, Gujarat, and Rajasthan in hot areas. The hot areas. This is a crop, switchgrass. It produces a lot of biomass. The root system goes 20 feet deep. So you don't have to plant again. You plant only one time. In our case, in the fall season, the temperature goes down to 0. So the crop dies, but it will come back. I planted this crop in 2012. It comes up, dies. It comes up, it dies. Now the topsoil is black color. And the great part of this crop is the CN ratio, the carbon to nitrogen ratio of this crop is very, very high. The carbon to nitrogen ratio is 62:1. Carbon to nitrogen ratio is high means this is the crop that can prevent climate change. That can bring more carbon dioxide from the atmosphere to the soil. It can be cut 3 times as a fodder. It can be used for mulching. Because the CN ratio is high, they don't decompose fast. So this is one of the crops I am not looking only 3 states. Any state, if they have to cultivate with no water, no irrigation, nothing, this will come up. So think about that. Switchgrass. So, and our students, we go for competition, they all get awards. Yeah. Yeah, another research we are going on with the grafted watermelons. We introduced grafted watermelons in India, in the US. Melon comes from different places. So grafted watermelon is a new program coming up. Even I'm not an expert. We are still trying because the rootstock is different from wild varieties. And the scion is from the new variety. We noticed that when we applied the grafted watermelon, the yield goes very, very high. Not only the yield of the fruit, the biomass goes very high. The watermelon, the stem close to the ground was only 2-3 inches. But here in this case, it became very big in size. And that watermelon, the grafted watermelon, produce big, huge fruits. Even though the number of fruits is low, the size of the fruit was very high. And the total soluble salt is high. The biomass is very, very high. In our research, is mainly not only for fruits, we are looking for the biomass. How much biomass we can get from each crop to prevent the soil erosion. And switchgrass, this is the US Army's plot. The one I showed you belongs to the US Army. The US Army came and they established the pot. It's a biofuel grass, can produce biofuel, and also it can prevent climate change. So I recommend universities in India to utilize this crop as one of the crops because we are number 1 in cattle population. Many farmers may not have enough food to give the cattle. So this is a crop that can produce a lot of green fodder. And it grows with no irrigation. That is another part. A farmer cannot cultivate grass for a cow irrigating the grass. And this is another crop I want to introduce. We have only cashew nuts and peanuts. We don't have many nuts in India. And this is pecan. Pecan is a highly nutritious nut. And the trees we have, I'm going to show the tree. The tree we have in our campus, it is 200 years old. 200 years. Still they are producing the hardwoods. And the nut is very nutritious. It's more nutritious than cashew nuts. Cashew nuts are 13% saturated fat, but it is different. And this nut is, and over the nut, you can see like almond. Almond has a lot of antioxidants on the skin. In case of this nut also, a lot of antioxidants on the skin. So this is another crop I want to introduce in India, the pecan. And pecan, but it needs cool climate. So it can be cultivated in high ranges like Ooty, Kodaikanal, Nilgiris, any places. And it will continue producing for years. The trees we have, they are producing even after 200 years. If we can cultivate this, and our great-grandchildren, when they come after 200 years, if they want to cut and sell the trees, they will be millionaires. We know the price of trees, very expensive. So this is the embassy official. They used to come here to visit us sometimes. So he came to see me. So we used to take them. So they come and visit, to take pictures and introduce systems for even for India also. So I wanted to introduce this. These are the major crops I want to introduce. So if you have any questions here, I can answer the questions. You can ask me any question you have.
Sir, over, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, sir. Excellent presentations. And we came to many things on how the organic farming and what are the components of organic farming and residue decomposition, organic agriculture, greenhouse gases, how methane gas are coming out, and livestock space, 38% agriculture, and 500 orthopogenic chemicals in our bodies, and how the solutions, poultry litter, what is composting, high composting, the CN ratio, and you have covered nitrogen guano production, dolomite lime, mixing poultry, manure with the dolomite, struvite-based compost, antimicrobials, and synthetic mulches, melons, blueberries, and rich source of vitamin C, and which controls COVID, pneumonia, and organic blueberries, muskmelon, muscadine grape, turmeric, switchgrass, how it is highest biomass production, and grafted watermelon and pecan. So excellent speaker, excellent presentations. Thank you very much. And it is really useful to our Indian context that the switchgrass and pecan and grafted watermelons, muscadine grape. And thank you very much. Now I invite question and answers from the audience.
Okay, welcome. Welcome.
Hello. Now it is the time for question and answers. Anybody can ask. Hello. Associate deans, zonal heads, university officers, any scientists, any queries?
Thank you.
Sir, I have one query. Sir, as you said, this, combining both poultry litter, that is animal litter, and this crop waste. When we combine both together, I think sometimes particularly when we use the poultry litter along with this FIM, sometimes this combination will have some deleterious effect on the plant growth, especially the root portion, that is the portion below the soil surface. Maybe it is due to some, the chemicals which have some adverse effect on the growth of the plants. Are there any studies on this, particularly on the poultry litter, when we use it for particularly the vegetable crops, which has short life cycle?
Yeah, the poultry litter has the nitrate that kills the root hairs. That is the poultry litter kills even tiny plants. Even the same problem here in America, there are a lot of horses. The horse manure contains the same thing. So they don't use the horse manure here because that kills the plant. So the poultry litter, when we applied the poultry litter and the blueberries, we noticed the plant was turning to brown. The same thing happened to muscadine. So we have different treatments, one with the poultry manure, one with the cow manure, one mixture. So different treatments. Wherever we applied the poultry manure, especially on blueberries and muscadine grapes, we noticed that the leaves started turning to brown color gradually. I thought it was going to die, but I cannot take it out. So I thought, let me see what is going to happen. So gradually, when I showed the table, I didn't go to that side. Gradually, when we noticed that the NPK was yielding more than the poultry manure. Poultry manure was far behind all the treatments. But gradually, the poultry manure became number 2, next to cow manure. So how the poultry manure is going, picking up, so that the plant physiologists, they can explain what is going on with the plant system. So that is one thing people don't know. So that is one thing. Another thing, when we mix the 2 fertilizers, and I know the poultry manure has the problem, the nitrate problem. The cow manure is mild. It doesn't have that much nitrogen. But when we mix 2 different kinds of animal waste, how the yield goes that high, why the vitamins, anthocyans, everything goes high.
Because the soil pH will also have a definite role on the composition of both this poultry manure as well as the FIM. I think we should also look into that aspect when we apply all these, fertilizers in combination.
The poultry manure already the pH is high. You're right. The poultry manure pH is already high compared to the cow manure. It's already high. So when you do the calcium, magnesium, again it goes high. But this is not with the quantum mechanism, it's only with the manure alone when we apply it happened. So if the plant physiology can come forward and suggest what is going on in the plant system, so that is not mentioned in any of the papers. That is why I contacted some of the topmost plant physiologists in the nation to see whether they can work on that, so they can have their first publication. But no, they said, it's a complicated work. It's not easy to find out.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Anybody? Especially young scientists, you will have many doubts, especially in organic farming, soil science. Okay, if nobody is there, I invite our registrar, Dr. B. Srinivasulu, to say a formal vote of thanks. Sir.
Thank you, Dr. Dhananjay Rao Garu, for giving the opportunity to propose a formal vote of thanks to our today's guest speaker, Dr. Girish K. Panikar Garu, the Professor of Plant and Soil Science and Director of Conservation Research, from Alcorn State University, USC. So it is we are very much thankful to you for being with us today and delivering a very interesting subject that is on conservation research and horticultural crops to keep the soil and humans healthy. It is really very, very interesting topic. And you have explained in detail with all the, by keeping in view the organic farming nowadays. I think it is one of the important topic nowadays. Almost all the countries are now on this aspect to give the consumers the quality food and other vegetables, fruits, and other products. I think this is very, very interesting subject for the students as well as faculty also. I think with this presentation, I think a lot of information they have got from your lecture. I think some of the students may also be interested to work on some of the points which you have stressed upon for their future research work. Sir, on behalf of Honorable Vice Chancellor Dr. YSR Horticulture University and all my colleague university officers and associate deans of respective colleges who have participated through online meeting and other principals of horticulture polytechnics and heads of research stations and KVKs and all the faculty and their students. I extend, and on my own behalf, I extend our heartfelt thanks to you, sir, for sparing your valuable time and giving us a wonderful, lecture and giving a very good information on the topic which you have presented today on this 14th Global Connect series. We are very much thankful to you, sir. I think in the beginning, Dr. Dhananjay was telling that you have been suffering with some cold and all.
Yeah.
In spite of that, you have given a very, very nice presentation, and we are very much thankful to you for sparing your valuable time and giving us a very wonderful lecture. Thank you very much, sir.
Okay, welcome. Thank you. Thank you. Welcome.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Panikar sir. Excellent presentation. Really, we got good information on organic farming, and we have to concentrate on the crops also. You mentioned on that for our faculty, and in spite of your suffering with fever and all, you have a lot of commitment. It shows, and we are getting much benefit from your speech lecture. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you once again, all the participants. Thank you.
Thank you.
Now the
Thank you
program
once
is
again, sir. Panikar, sir.
Yeah, thank you for giving me the chance. It is a golden opportunity for me because, as I want to tell something because I am from Kerala. The Kerala is buying the whole rice from Andhra Pradesh. We eat the rice from Andhra. I remember. So Kerala, Andhra are very attached when it comes to the food habits and all those things. And when we talk about the Andhra pickle, here I used to buy always Andhra pickle. So we told the people eat the pickle that can prevent even COVID. So because all the pickles, the human body pH is 7.2 and the pickle pH is above 7. So that will increase the pH of the human body, means you are getting more resistance.
Yes, that is true.
Yeah.
Because it contains a lot of spices.
Yeah, a lot of spices.
Oh.
All spices are alkaline and saline.
Yes.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much
Okay,
for
thank you.
sharing your ideas.
Okay, now the program is closed.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Dhananjay,
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
for
Thank you, sir.
organizing this 14th Global Connect series by involving one of the internationally reputed scientists. On behalf of all the participants, I immensely thank our Director International Program, Dr. Dhananjay Rao, for organizing this program today. That is the
Thank you, sir.
14th Global.
Thank
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.